class, the book that I'm going to be reading today is called Jamaica's Find, and it's written by Juanita Haville, and the illustrations are by Anne Sibley O'Brien. And this book has received a lot of awards. It's been in print for over 20 years, so it's an older book. And I'm excited to read this because I'm excited to see what I see in here that lets me know how important kindness is. So there's an author note, and sometimes I like to start with the author's note because it gives me a little bit of background about the book. It says, over the years, hundreds of young readers have written to me about Jamaica. They suggest situations for a future story. What if Jamaica goes on a trip? What if Jamaica and her friends have a party? They offer alternate solutions. What if Jamaica runs away so she can keep the stuffed dog she finds at the park? Sometimes they ask, what if Jamaica grows up? It's true that Jamaica has been 6 years old for 20 years. I don't plan to write about a grown-up Jamaica, but if ever I do, I am certain that she will be curious, intelligent, kind, and honest. She will face challenges and have to make choices, and like 6-year-old Jamaica, she will learn from her experiences. I hope that readers, young and old, will continue to see themselves in Jamaica and her everyday adventures. It sounds like Jamaica has a lot of great qualities. Today I'm having a hard time turning the pages. I think it's because my hands are kind of dry. When Jamaica arrived at the park, there was no one there. It was almost supper time, but she still had a few minutes to play. She sat in a swing, pushed off with her toes, and began pumping. It was fun not to have to watch out for the little ones who always ran in front of the swings. Then she climbed up the slide. There was a red sock hat on the ladder step. Jamaica took it for a ride. She slid down so fast that she fell on the sand and lay flat on her back. When she rolled over to get up, she saw a stuffed dog beside her. It was a cuddly gray dog, worn from hugging. All over it were faded food and grass stains. Its button nose must have fallen off. There was a round white spot in its place. 2 black ears hung from its head. It sounds to me like this puppy's gotten lots of love from somebody. Jamaica put the dog in her bicycle basket. She took the hat into the park house and gave it to the young man at the counter. She didn't take the puppy. The first thing her mother said when Jamaica came into the door was, "Where did that dog come from?" "The park. I stopped to play on the way home," Jamaica said. "I found someone's red hat and took it to the lost and found." "But Jamaica, you should have returned the dog too," said her mother. Then she said, "I'm glad you returned the hat." "It didn't fit me," Jamaica said. "Well, maybe the dog doesn't fit you either," her mother said. "But I like the dog," said Jamaica. Is that a good choice? "Don't put that silly dog on the table," Jamaica's brother said. "You don't know where it came from. It isn't very clean, you know," her father said. "Not in the kitchen, Jamaica," her mother said. Jamaica took the dog to her room. She could hear her mother say, "It probably belongs to a little girl just like Jamaica." After dessert, Jamaica went to her room very quietly. She held the dog up and looked at it closely. Then she tossed it on the chair. "Jamaica," her mother called from the kitchen, "have you forgotten? It's your turn to dry the dishes." "Do I have to, Mother? I don't feel good," Jamaica answered. Jamaica heard the pots rattle. Then she heard her mother's steps. Her mother came in quietly and sat down by Jamaica and looked at the stuffed dog which lay alone on the chair. She didn't say anything. After a while, she put her arms around Jamaica and squeezed for a long time. "Mother, I want to take the dog back to the park," Jamaica said. "We'll go first thing in the morning," her mother smiled. So I have a question. When Jamaica said that she wasn't feeling well, is it because she was sick, or maybe was she not feeling good about her decision? Sometimes our tummies let us know when we make a good decision or maybe a decision that's not so good. I know that if I do something that's unkind, sometimes my tummy kind of feels like it has knots in it, and I know that I did something wrong. And that's important because when I feel like that, I know that I need to do something to make it right. Jamaica ran to the park house and plopped the stuffed dog on the counter. "I found this by the slide," she told the young man. "Oh, hi, aren't you the girl who gave me the hat last night?" "Yes," said Jamaica, feeling hot around her ears. You sure do find a lot of things. I'll put it on the lost and found shelf. Jamaica stood watching him. Is that all? He asked. You didn't find anything else, did you? No, that's all. She stayed to watch him put the dog on the shelf behind him. I'm sure some little girl or boy will come in after it today. A nice little dog like that, the young man said. Jamaica ran outside. She didn't feel like playing alone. There was no one else at the park but her mother, who sat on a bench. Then Jamaica saw a little girl and her mother cross the bench straight to the park. Hi, I'm Jamaica. What's your name? She said to the girl. The girl let go of her mother's hand. Kristen, she said. Do you want to climb the jungle gym with me, Kristen? Jamaica asked. Oh, Jamaica's being a really good friend now, huh? Kristen ran around toward Jamaica. Yes, but I have to find something first. What? Asked Jamaica. Kristen was bending under the slide. What did you lose? Said Jamaica. My Edgar dog. I brought him with me yesterday and now I can't find him, Kristen answered. Was he kind of gray with black ears? Jamaica couldn't keep from shouting. Come along with me. The young man in the park house looked over the counter at the two girls. Now what have you found? He asked Jamaica. But this time Jamaica didn't drop anything onto the counter. Instead, she smiled her biggest smile. I found the girl who belongs to that stuffed dog. Jamaica was almost as happy as Kristen, who took Edgar Dog in her arms and gave him a big welcome back hug. And that is the end. So, my class, this was a great book because I see students doing this all the time on the playground. They find little treasures that they really might want to keep, but instead of keeping them, they're responsible and they go give them to Miss Debbie. And I know that when you're doing that, that makes the child who lost it feel very happy because somebody was kind enough to return their special belongings. This was a really, really, really great book about being kind. Even though it was a hard decision for Jamaica to make, she made the right decision in returning that puppy because that little girl Kristen, really, really loved that puppy. Anyway, I hope that you can find ways to be kind this week. Maybe be a little bit kinder to your little brothers or sisters, or a little bit kinder to your mom and dad. Look for ways that you can help them and show them kindness and how much you love and care for them. Have a great week.